Hello, coaches. Welcome to the Coach C Basketball Analytics Podcast. In today's episode, I will focus on why the top 11 teams in the country keep winning and why most opponents aren't able to pull them out of their rhythm and comfort zone. And the real issue isn't just talent or tradition. It's the absence of a data-driven game plan. In today's game, a one-style-fits-all approach simply doesn't work. Every opponent possesses different characteristics, and the current season numbers make it very clear that most teams are entering these games with the same predictable and patterned strategies that only favor teams with superior talent, because they allow the game to unfold exactly the way those teams want to play it. Once the numbers and the numerical logic of the game are understood in context, it becomes clear that opponents are giving these elite programs the freedom to operate inside their strengths. Without disrupting those strengths, the averages never drop to a beatable level. Everything starts with net rating, the number of points scored per 100 possessions minus the points allowed. That number tells the truth about efficiency. When a team sits at a massive number, it means the opponent never controlled the rhythm or forced them into uncomfortable decisions. As of December 8th, let's take Michigan. Their plus 36.24 net rating, the best in the country, comes from a top 11 offense, the number one defense, and one of the fastest tempos in the nation. Opponents are letting a fast, efficient team stay fast and efficient. Against a team like that, the game plan has to slow tempo, extend possessions, and take away early clock threes. But that almost never happens. Gonzaga and Arizona show the same pattern: high tempo, elite efficiency, and opponents who do nothing to disrupt pace or timing. They get their early shots, they get clean looks, and they get to run their preferred actions without resistance. When fast teams aren't forced into longer, tougher possessions, the numbers stay high. Then there are the slower teams. Purdue plays extremely slow, ranking near the bottom in tempo, yet carries the number one offense in the country. Their net rating sits at plus 29.70, meaning that even in a low possession game, they still create a large scoring gap over 100 possessions. And this is exactly where the one-style approach fails. Teams try to out-execute Purdue in the half court, which is exactly where Purdue wants to play. Analytics would say the opposite: speed them up, extend the floor, and force more possessions to dilute their efficiency. But opponents keep playing safely and predictably, and Purdue controls the entire rhythm of the game. Houston is another example, one of the slowest teams in the country that favor a half-court style of play with a top defensive unit, and is seldom forced to sustain a fast-paced games at both ends of the court. Their opponent's strategy plays directly into their strengths. Again, pattern basketball favors the more talented and structured team. Balanced teams like Iowa State, Duke, and Illinois prove the same point. Iowa State carries a plus 34.27 net rating, the second best in the country. Duke sits in the top 5 with elite balance on both ends. Illinois stays inside the top 11 with strong shot quality control. Yet opponents still show up with the same general game plan: no adjustments, no targeted disruption, no analytics applied to the opponent in front of them. And the result is predictable: the elite efficiency numbers hold steady. Across all of these examples, the pattern repeats. Most teams are not lowering anything that actually matters. They are not lowering pace. They are not lowering points per possession. They are not lowering three-point efficiency. They are not forcing late clock shots. They are not disrupting early shot opportunities. And without doing those things, the opponent's identity and play style isn't forced to adapt and never changes. That's why fast teams stay fast and slow teams stay efficient and balanced, because they are allowed to keep playing their preferred game. The top programs are allowed to live inside the exact style of play that controls the rhythm of the game to produce their elite numbers. And it happens because opponents never take those strengths away. They fall back on standard predictable play style instead of building a data-driven game plan tailored to each opponent.
And here's the key point.
A real data-driven game plan has to match the characteristics of the opponent. That's the whole value of analytics. It shows exactly which adjustments will disrupt that team's rhythm balance, and point production per possession, whether it's their pace, their early clock offense, their shooters and guard profiles, or their ability to control possessions. In basketball analytics, each opponent requires a different set of objectives if the goal is to lower their averages. Here's the reality: analytics isn't here to build one style of play for all opponents. It's here to show which set of strategies actually disrupt the opponent in front of you. Slowing Michigan is not the same challenge as slowing Purdue. Speeding up Purdue has nothing to do with speeding up Houston. Taking away Gonzaga's early threes is completely different from disrupting Illinois' spacing. The game plan has to fit the opponent, not the coach's preference. As I keep working through this topic, my goal is to make analytics practical and accessible for coaches at every level. The game keeps evolving, and the more we understand how numbers shape rhythm, pace, and decision-making, the better we can prepare our teams. And at the end of the day, that's the true essence of analytics: identifying the specific areas that can tilt the game, whether it's pace, shot quality, possession control, or taking away the action that keeps an opponent efficient. I'm learning along the way too, and I appreciate everyone who follows these conversations as we try to make the game a little clearer and smarter each week. I hope that as we keep moving forward with these conversations on basketball analytics, the topic becomes clearer and more useful, especially if the goal is to level the playing field and increase a team's chances of success against any opponent. Feel free to share your comments or questions, and if you ever need help applying these ideas, I'm available. I look forward to the next episode. Until then, keep looking for ways to defy the status quo and compete to win. This will surely bring fresh excitement to your coaching, your players, and your fans. And remember, success is only limited by your tactical audacity.